play action fake. Right side touchdown!
The Chiefs have won! The Chiefs have won!
And now the real test. Can you do it 3 times in a row?
You're the man! It is a dynasty!
Kansas City Chiefs, one of just 2 teams with an 11.5 over-under line for 2024. Like that matters. They only needed 11 last year, still ended up with that silver football.
You gotta fight for your right!
And that's the rub if you're the other 31 teams. The 2023 Chiefs, relatively speaking, weren't that good. Not Super Bowl winning good, at least. Well, they were, but you get it.
Their 3rd Super Bowl in 5 years!
But all their beasties are back. Ad-Rock, MCA, Mike D. And if all Patrick Mahomes has to do is send a text saying, I'm gonna win another Super Bowl, then how is that fair?
I want to get 3, though.
Okay, Kansas City needed more than just that text. They needed an elite defense to bail the meddling offense out.
Tyreek Hill hit right in the stomach, fumbles the ball.
Yeah, that's right, Pat and his Mahomies. Hold the defense's beer.
The ball came out, and Brian Cook would not let the play in.
We're starting this Chiefs preview with Kansas City's D.
They don't dominate like we dominate!
2nd in points per game allowed last year, 2nd in yards per game allowed.
Sacked at the 10-yard line.
They were a young guns group. Can't be any geek off the street to start for them.
Eaten alive.
Gotta know how to handle the steal, if you know what I mean. Chiefs regulated quarterbacks with the best. Top 3 in yards per attempt and yards per completion allowed. Top 10 in rating allowed and completion percentage.
The end zone, it's intercepted. It's picked off in the end zone.
Some of the best quarterback rustlers in the land, too. 2nd most bags.
Get a sack. Chris Jones, it's the Chiefs' 6th sack of this game.
They'll be your Huckleberry.
I know you gotta pay attention to me. Y'all gotta go at me.
That's right, Doc and Charlie. It's a crossover episode. Chris Jones, the lead man up front, 1st team All-Pro, 10.5 sacks.
Hey, feel that! Feel that!
2nd-year man, George Karlaftis, tied CJ with 10.5 of his own.
All right, boy, you're gonna make me get emotional. Don't cry.
Unless you cry with me.
Defensive end, Charles Omenihu, only 11 games, 7 QB takedowns.
Charles Omenihu came off the edge with a strip sack.
Defensive end Michael Dana chipped in 6.5.
He's not going to get a chance. Dana ends it.
10 other Chiefs got in on the action as well. Defensive tackle Derek Nottie only had 1. He was their other DT starter.
Oh boy, he looked like he was going to take off before he was grabbed around the neck by Derek Nottie.
Linebacker Drew Tranquil, 4.5 bags, 2 forced fumbles, 78 tackles.
We the champs!
Linebacker Leo Chanel, 2nd-year dude, 3 sacks, 65 tackles.
Watch out, here they come. And Chanel.
Linebacker Nick Bolton, 60 tackles in just 8 games played. That was his year 3.
Earmuff!
They did lose linebacker Willie Gay from the unit. He was a solid dude.
And Willie Gay Jr. recovers the fumble.
But that group was not overly adept at stopping runners. They gave up 4.5 a carry. It's a KC thing. And so is parting with a top-tier cornerback and just moving ahead like it didn't matter.
Interception by Bolton.
Traded away cornerback L'Jarius Sneed, who tracked WR1s for them last year, held his targets to a nice low 55 rating.
Picked off by Sneed.
But they figure, hey, we still have Trent McDuffie, 1st team All-Pro last year, 80 tackles, 5 forced fumbles, 3 sacks.
Yeah, the ball's out. Trent McDuffie.
And he's just getting it going, too. Plus, Joshua Williams is also young, and he held quarterbacks to a sub-90 rating last year.
To the end zone, and it's incomplete.
Cornerback Jalen Watson was the weak link last year, rating allowed near 100, gave up a team-high 4 touchdowns. Safety Justin Reed, sub-90 rating allowed, a pick, nabbed 3 QBs on his blitzes.
You already know what that is. You see it. You see it.
And safety Brian Cook, hurt after 12 games, but he was having a good 2023. They have a deep DB room.
Intercepted. It's Brian Cook to close out the game.
The other loss to their secondary safety Mike Edwards, who did hold quarterbacks under an 80 rating.
My hands froze, bro. I said, please let me catch it.
So what about those slackers on the other side of the ball?
Defense playing their ass off. One drive. Turn the momentum. Let's go.
Mahomes' personal numbers in 2023, sort of a reflection of the team's record.
Listen, guys, we're talking about a guy Patrick Mahomes.
But how did him throwing more INTs than he ever had
Who's been throwing the ball
and posting career lows in a slew of categories matter
since he was 8 years old?
when he was the one hoisting the Lombardi
That's Chris Collinsworth.
and the Super Bowl MVP?
Makes everything different.
The explanation for the subpar digits blamed on a pass-catching group that dropped more balls than any other group in the NFL.
And the latest Kadarius Toney mistake turns into a turnover.
Even star tight end Travis Kelce had a few bouts of the yips. I wonder why. What else could have distracted him from anything that wasn't taking place on the field of Kansas City Chiefs games in the year of 2023?
I want more people watching.
Kelce, 90-plus catches, 900-plus yards, 5 touchdowns, still option number 1 for Mahomes.
Go all day, boy! All day, boy! He can't guard you! He can't guard him!
Now, his production was down relative to previous Kelce seasons, but he is 1/4 of the KC Dynasty Rushmore. He's back hungry for 3.
Always about us, baby. It's always about us.
Him, Mahomes, CJ, and Mr. Nuggies, of course.
Slide keys. I like slide keys a lot.
Reed was handcuffed as much as Mahomes was. No shocker that one slippery-handed fellow, MVS, was let go. 300 yards and change in 16 games. They won't miss him, I bet.
He drops the ball in the end zone.
Plus, the number 1 wideout option, Rashee Rice. What a rookie year. Almost 80 catches, more than 900 yards.
Down inside the 15 to the 10-yard line.
7 touchdowns. He was low-key one of the most important pieces to the KC puzzle.
Inside the 5. Touchdown.
I used low-key, right? Justin Watson, 3rd on the team in yards with 460.
Justin Watson with the catch.
Big drop-off from there, which says a lot, which is why they added Hollywood Brown to the picture. 550-plus yards with Arizona last year. Went for 700 to 1,000 the previous 3 years.
Hollywood Brown.
Plus, they may not have the cheetah anymore, but maybe the pronghorn will catch on in Kansas City. Drafted 40-yard dash record holder Xavier Worthy.
Instant speed, that 4.21 all-time great in terms of that number, and watch how fast he is on a field of fast players at Alabama. This is the game that jumped out to me. The ability to get down the field, track the ball over your shoulder, almost like Willie Mays.
Pronghorn, the 2nd fastest land animal, by the way. Chiefs ground game in the hands of the Tasmanian Devil, Isaiah Pacheco.
It's our turn. It's our turn.
Pacheco, 7 paint jobs on the ground, over 900 yards rushing, 4.6 a run. He was vital, and that was just his 2nd year.
Inside the 5. Bumped out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
Mahomes also played a big role in the run game. He picked up more first downs than any quarterback off scrambles.
I know you fast. I got it first down. I know that.
His line, of course, aided that effort. 2nd most pass attempts in the league, 2nd fewest sacks taken. That's a pretty good ratio.
Great job.
Making their pass pro even more impressive, right tackle Jawan Taylor was the NFL laundry king last year. Hey, you can't sack the QB if I'm holding on to you. Still, his pressure rate allowed better than average at right tackle. Same was true of center Creed Humphrey, guard Joe Tooney, left tackle Donovan Smith for their respective positions.
No steps backward.
They will trot out a new left tackle, though. Kicking game, Harrison Butker, 33 of 35, and he's been pretty clutch in the postseason the last few years, too. Pretty clutch.
Longest field goal attempt in Super Bowl history.
Pretty clutch.
And it is good.
Big picture view, Mahomes, Kelce, Pacheco, Rice, they all return to their playmaking room. Hollywood slides in for MVS, giving that an upgrade stamp. Worthy, the other newcomer, if he makes an impact, they are scary. O-line can't battle to see who replaces Smith at left tackle. Likely a downgrade, being Smith played well. Other 4 guys all returning Chiefs, all coming off good seasons. Defensive side of things, front 7 has serious continuity. CJ, Karlaftis, Dana, Omenahue, all their linebackers all played together last year, all celebrated together at the end. Secondary took a hit losing Snead. Jalen Watson sorta replaces him. Those are tough shoes to fill. McDuffie takes over as the big dog in the CB room in theory. Joshua Williams, Chamari Connor will see plenty of action. Justin Reed and Brian Cook backing them up. Let's take the Kansas City party bus over to their schedule now, see how tough it will be to win more than 11 games.
Go out there and take that
Let's say they're still the same 11-win kind of Chiefs as last year. How bad could it be? Lose their first 2 before getting on the board versus Atlanta. The Saints at home is a win. Raiders is a team they still think they can sweep. Bucks at home on Monday Night Football. Sweep the Broncos, right? Panthers should be an easy dub. Defend the house versus Harbaugh's Superchargers. And take the Browns on the road. A 10-win floor, which seemed absurd until we saw them only win 11 last year.
Chase on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Should it all click, though? Who can't they beat? We know they can beat Baltimore, and Cincinnati for that matter. Buffalo on the road? Yeah, been there, done that. Texans can't beat us at Arrowhead, and dispatch the Steelers on the road. 15-2, one of the tallest A-frames in the league, but clearly they're capable. Game preview guy guessing machine spit out a 12-5 record, which is more than enough to set them up for a run at the triple.